So how important is your networking career to you? How important is it to you that you pass your next exam, whether that's CCNA, CCNP, or CCIE? How important is your career actually to you? And what excuses are you making? You know, in life, everyone has problems. Everyone has challenges. Some of us have bigger challenges than others. But I think for the most of us, we have no excuse. Most of the excuses are just up here. What crutches are you leaning on? Or what excuses are you making to yourself that stop you from reaching your goals? You know, I personally knew a network engineer who only had one arm. Just think about that. This guy had one arm, one hand, but yet he was configuring routers and switches with that one arm. I remember at the time, when I met him, he was preparing for his CCIE, a lab exam. So having one arm didn't stop him. What are your excuses? What's holding you back?
This is Diamond Beach, Iceland. Are you going to turn your problems into diamonds and make the most of them? Don't let the problems stop you from making more of your life. Make sure that you turn your hardships into diamonds and do more with your life.
I think for most of us, we have no excuse. Because for most of us, there's someone else who is in a much worse position than we are. Most of us have no excuses.
All it takes is hard work and determination.
Now, I think for most of us, the problem is up here. It's a problem of thinking. It's a problem of prioritizing our time and doing things. A lot of people will talk but won't do. A lot of people will complain but they won't take action. What are you going to do to overcome your problems and hardships and reach your goals? What's holding you back? Perhaps in school, you were told that you were dumb or that you couldn't do anything. I think that's a real problem in schools. Teachers or others may have told you that you're dumb, or you may have been bullied. You've got to overcome those challenges and make the most of your life. I was bullied at school, but don't let that stop you. Show those bullies, show those doubters, show those haters what you can do with your life. Don't let them stop you. I think one of the most powerful things you can do is to forgive them and then go and do something with your life. Don't focus on them, focus on you and what you can do in your life to make a success of what you're doing. Don't let others dictate to you what you do with your life. It's your life. Make the most of it. Take that pain, take that hate, take that doubt, and then use that and funnel that to create something constructive. Do something with your life to prove all of those haters and all of those doubters wrong. Are you blind? Are you deaf? Perhaps you've heard of Helen Keller. That didn't stop her. What about Stephen Hawking, who just passed away? His physical disabilities didn't stop him from doing something with his life. So if you have no physical disabilities, then you're in a much better position than many other people. What about time? Now, all of us have 24 hours in the day. What are you doing with your 24 hours? There's 24 hours. Perhaps you sleep for 8 hours. That still gives you 16 hours. Perhaps you have to go to work. Perhaps you're fortunate and only work 8 hours, or less fortunate and work 10 hours. But that still gives you 6 to 8 hours every day to do something. So how much time every day do you spend watching television, going on Facebook, watching YouTube videos that are not relevant to your goals, or perhaps playing computer games? Now, if you're a professional gamer, it makes sense that you spend lots and lots of time playing computer games. But if you're not a professional gamer, but you want to be a network engineer or want to enhance your career networking, it doesn't make sense to spend hours and hours every day playing computer games. If you want to become a gamer, then do that. But if you want to become a network engineer, that's probably not going to help you accomplish your goals. So 24 hours, 8 hours for sleeping, 8 to 10 hours for work. You've still got, say, 6 hours every day. What are you doing with those 6 hours? Let's assume that you have to spend 3-4 hours a day with the family or doing other things. That still gives you at least 1 hour every day to do something. What are you doing with that 1 hour every day? And what are you doing on weekends when you're not working? What are you doing with those 48 hours on the weekend? Are you spending your time watching television again, or going to a football match, or doing something else? Or are you spending that time on enhancing your career? It's all about priorities. What are your priorities? What is important to you? Don't tell me that your networking career or any other career is important if you're not spending time developing yourself and enhancing yourself, if possible every day, or at least a few hours every week. Then it's not important. Then other things are important, such as leisure, watching television, playing sports, or doing something else. At the end of the day, you need to decide what's important for you, and you need to spend your time on what's important. Perhaps you say that you don't have money. But if you have a computer or a phone or access to a device in the library, you really don't have an excuse. There is so much content available for free today on the internet. Just on my YouTube channel, I have hundreds of videos that you can access for free. There are videos and labs for CCNA, CCNP, as well as newer technologies such as network programmability. In the past, it used to cost something like $2,500 to attend a training course. You had to go away for 5 days to a training center and spend huge amounts of money to be educated. That's no longer true today. You can go to Udemy and pay $10 and get access to a full CCNA course, whether that's my course or someone else's. So there's free content on the internet. There's free content on YouTube. There is content available on Udemy and other platforms that doesn't cost a lot of money. So I don't think that's an excuse for many of us. Now, I often hear complaints about how networking changes all the time or technology changes all the time. But I think that's a huge advantage. Think about it. Perhaps you're new to networking, but that's an advantage. You don't have to learn about analog modems. You don't have to learn about frame relay, ISDN, and old technologies. Learn the new technologies. Learn the stuff that's going to be important for the next 5 years. Most networking engineers with many years of experience aren't programmers. But that's an advantage if you're new to networking. Perhaps you've just come out of college. You may have taken some programming courses in college. Leverage that knowledge, because programming and network automation are going to be more and more important. Now, perhaps you're older and you're stuck in a rut. Get out of that and learn the new things to change your life. It's an advantage that networking is changing all the time, because everyone has to learn something new every single day. Doesn't matter if they've been in networking for 2 years or 5 years or 20 years. They have to keep on learning to stay ahead because things change all the time. So what are you going to do? What are you going to learn to make a better future for yourself and your family?